it again. There. That should work. So, what I was saying is I think I got it figured out.
There, I just sent it to you, Dave.
All
Check your
right.
email.
And if I don't have it figured out, I will check my email. But what I did, it's looking for this function, this load salt types, and you need to have the function in there to keep the script running, but I made it so that it doesn't do anything. It will use mine instead if all works well. So I just zipped it up, and I think
Send it back to me.
hold on a minute. I'm going to test it real quick here. Paste it out of there. I'll send a copy back to you as well. Although I'm hoping it works. But yeah, we had to do a little bit of magic. Da 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 da. Official server files. And we'll get it working. It is the reason why we can't use... Alright, RM Season's going in there. Why we have to use our custom version. Otherwise, we can't have salt built into our map. We have to let Seasons add it. The salt will weigh 2.85, and you saw how hard it is to drive a truck around with it at 0.85. And it's all called road salt, and we'd be putting road salt into our factories to make potato chips. And yeah, so there's just so many little reasons. Let's start up and see if we can start a Seasons game this time. We'll watch the error log. Who's giving me money? Oh my gosh. What the heck? Is that Norm? Norm 42 with $100? Thank you so much. I didn't even see it pop up in the... It's going to crash my stream again. No, it's... You know what I honestly think it is? I honestly think that it's my hard drive filling up. I think that is my issue with... Yeah, the game is loading, but it's in that pause state, so it won't... I think that's my issue with all my recent crashes, is I've got to do a clean out. I've got another hard drive, but I get my recycle bin 76 more items, 3,646 in just today with all these deletes and erasing and redoing, and we're in the red zone on the hard drive. If you look at my PC, you'll see I have drives, but my master drive is almost full. I've got another Western Digital solid state that I added that has 402 gigs free. I just got to move more stuff off of my C drive and make it defragment the drive.
That was it, Dave. Thank you.
That worked.
Up by mining salt.
Yeah, so that's what it was. We have to register it in hours. My game hasn't even loaded up yet, but he's back to mining salt. I have, if you guys, I mean, I can't even show you, but you see my regular desktop, the icons that I have. Now, granted, these are games, and I could close things down so it looks a little prettier, but I have all these files are stuff that I'm constantly working on. Maps that I pulled, my rivers map, the global company stuff, unzip files to grab stuff from old maps, my markers. I mean, that's a marker file, and I do have another folder with all the markers in it, and I'm redoing them as I go. So all the ground markers, I mean, and adding new ones. I've just got, and I'm running, look, I always have a bazillion things, and you can see on the other monitor I have 3 programs for running the stream, Discord, my PV Tools is always running. I've got 2 web browsers, both my Maxthon browser that I use for the Trello when I show you guys. Yeah, no errors. So I guess I got to give you guys an update to that. It's already been tested on. I'm not going to waste the time testing it when you just did. You said it's working perfectly.
Yep.
Your
I
salt is
used
back.
Yep.
So he's testing it. I'm going to give it to you guys. A 4 terabyte plus. Yeah, that would be nice. And Norm, with your donation, maybe we will get some more hamsters someday. Oh, thank you so much. All right, so I suppose you guys want that seasons update. Let me go back to my folders here.
Maybe you should throw the rest of it out too.
And I'm going to get you the rest of the stuff. Yeah, we'll get you some stuff. Some stuff to play with. I'm looking to make sure I'm overwriting. I got to find where I originally had my seasons stored. Well, we'll just get you a new link. So, PV in this, let's see, map class. We're going to do a seasons update. PQRM seasons. I'm going to just drag that over to here. I'm putting it with all the other mods that I released, so if it, I'm going to change the link as well in just a minute. You don't need to uninstall the 19 MFS Plus. No, you can use them both if you wanted to. Actually, it's kind of weird, but it's only going to take whatever the last folder you clicked on. So they will both run, but whatever one you used last is the folder that it will run on. So basically, if I run this alongside right here, and you're using the PV tools right here, if I click on official server files or whatever I use, that's the folder it's going to use on this one, and whatever it says down here does not matter anymore until I click it on this one again. I mean, so it's just going to confuse you, but you only need the one. They do the same thing. The only difference is this has some extra options for settings for your game settings, and it has an easy way to turn on developer controls, and we are going to, I made it smaller so we can have more room to add in stuff later on if we ever get a chance to. Alright, so copy that link to clipboard. I'm gonna come over here and I'm going to edit the link. Let me see. It says it there. Update. I'll test it this time. Okay. It's tested. The link looks good. And updated 8/21/2019. And it's at the top of the column. So grab the 8/21 update and you'll fix your snow problem. Alright. For now, I am going to do a quick look here. Let's see. You guys want some other stuff, so I got to go through and find them. The barrel factory, the board chipper. I got to try the chipboard factory, the cogent storage building. Da 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 da. There's more. I know there's more. I'm just looking for it. You got the pallet. You need the paper factory. You need the plank factory.
I think the barrel too.
Oh, the barrel. Yeah, I got the barrel factory highlighted. Barrel, board chipper, chipboard, cogent storage, planks, paper, and I think that is all of them. So planks, paper, board chipper, board factory, barrel factory. Why do I feel like one is missing? We already got the pallets. You guys got pallets already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, that must be all of them. I'm gonna zip those into one for you guys for tonight. And we'll call it... What should we call it? We'll call it... Wood Factories .zip. Okay.
You might hear me, JD, but now you can't hear his game sound. So
Yeah, it's cool. You can hear him, but now my game... I gotta figure that out. I don't know why. My OBS has two settings. One for game sounds and one for... But it only lets me select one. Where did the woodfactory.zip go? There it is. Woodfactories.zip. I'm going to take that and I'm going to upload that for you guys tonight so you can get them all at once to play with. It's uploading right now. I'll get you guys a link in just a minute. And then tomorrow I will separate these 5 out and put them up on the mod center. So when you tune into the show, you kind of get a little bit of a preview and you know what's going on. We fixed things. So we've updated the blank 4x map, and we fixed the season snow issue. Salt issue. If you're having it, all you got to do is use the latest copy that I put up there today. We'll get that done. There's always something when you're dealing with other people's stuff.
well, if I would have done it the right way, it would have been,
I thought he had everything. Yep, but you're good. You'll know for next time. That Lewis script, and we'll have to watch that back. I'm gonna get
now
that.
Now I know how to do it. Now I know how to do Ulua.
Yep. All right. So the link for that. Let me paste it in here. Let me check it out. Make sure it works. There you go. Woodfactories.zip. You can get all of those from that link, but I'm also going to add it to the commands, so if we need to pull it up later. I'm doing that right now. Whoops. We're going to name it !wood. And the response is that. Give you that link and we'll submit it. So if we type, I'm just testing. If we type !wood, we get the link. All right. So that was fun. Any other things out there? Oh, we had the Field 42 spawn problem that somebody was saying. Let's just check that out. Pikey Poke, I think it was. I like to fix things before I forget occasionally. Sometimes I don't. Depends what we're looking at. We've got some stuff going on though. So there's a silo over by 42 that you spawn into. Now sometimes that can be changed and sometimes it can't. Let's see. we were on Save Game 7 earlier. With all the new stuff. You're not home. Well, you got to get home. Get your downloads done. I actually played for a little bit today. I actually played the game. It's hard to believe. I forgot what it was like to play the game. You guys are playing with all this stuff. I've bought my first fertilizer maker and my first seed maker on my save game. And the composter. That's as far as I've been able to get because I don't play anymore. I've got a seasons game going over there. Alright, so why did I come back in? Oh, we wanted to check a spawn point near 42. Is there a spawn point near 42? I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing over by 42. There's a gas station and a transport company. Or was it on the other map? Oh, 31? The spinnery, maybe? Let's see, spinnery. Yeah, it works fine. This Western Station. That one goes okay. That one goes okay. That one's okay. Nope, I'm not having spawn point issues with any of those. So it very well could have been something that got carried. We did have several of them. But we fixed them, and it must not have got updated on a previous save game, or I'm missing something, because we just hit all of those, and I'm popping into wherever I go. So, yep, very good. Lots and lots of stuff going on. Alright, so this is the part of the show where I take a quick break. And I'm going to use the restroom. And I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about the future of mods with ideas, and ask Fumin03, are you still out there? I have to check. I think you could do this. You're pretty smart, and I bet you could do this if, yeah, he's out there, but I don't know if he's listening. I don't know if you could do this. I'll give you a quick example of what I want to do by opening up. Well, we got to create a new mod, basically. So I've never done one from scratch. Let's create a folder. New folder. We're going to call it, I tried to do this. We'll call it my object library. My object library. Alright. And with that, I'm going to bring in, I'm trying to think, which building did I use it last on? Plank factory. I'm trying to, alright. I know what I'll do. I'm going to open up the Pleasant Valley map. And textures. I think that's the one I want right there. Yeah, that'll work fine. Alright, I'm going to put that over here. Copy. I'm going to put it into my library under a textures, block textures file. So, new folder. BLOCK TEXTURES. That works. I'm going to paste that over there. I'm going to, do I have it? I never ever do it. I never open up the editor without clicking on an object. I don't know if I even have a link to the editor on my desktop. That's what I'm looking for. So let's grab something that I can click on for now. I don't even care if it doesn't work right. Something very small. Okay, that'll work. Now I have a link. Mod Hub won't work with seasons. What do you mean Mod Hub won't work with seasons? Yeah, you got to get the one from my Trello board. You have to jump over there and at my exclamation point mod center. We have issues that needed. So I at least got a blank piece of junk here I'm going to get rid of. All right, so here's the thing. You can create a primitive cube, and we'll find that cube. It starts off really small. You see that? We've got a cube. We can make that cube larger. Let's just make it 4 by 4 by 4, just for the heck of it. So we have a 4 by 4 by 4 cube. I can come up here, and in my folder, we're going to browse my desktop for my library, my block texture, and grab my concrete texture and apply to cube. Let's get light in here, create a light, and you can see I now have this wonderful cube with concrete. Now, as I work on buildable factories, let's say we scale this to 8. It looks good at, I mean, the concrete texture looks pretty good at different sizes. I like it. I like it a lot. Now let's say I save this as a cube. Let's see, we'll call it file, save as, and right in my library I'm going to call it my cube, or we'll call it my concrete block. Yeah, we'll call it a concrete block. B-L-O-C-K. Boom. Okay. Now if I had to do that because now if I come in and I load my concrete block, I could actually create another cube. Yes, you have to use my version than the one in Mod Hub, and do not use the update in Mod Hub. So there's my cube. Now if I was to create another cube now, I've got another white cube, which is great. I can actually set it to the same size as this block. Now, I could have duplicated this block, but 8 by 4 by 4. But loading in a separate cube is what 8 by 4 by 4. Whoops, I did 5. 4 by 4. We've got another cube. Same size. Looks wonderful. What I wanted to know from Fummins03 is, can he create an object, a cube, that will allow me to drop the texture on each individual side? Because I would like to create building blocks for the factories to make them look better as they build. Am I gonna put any video? I gotta go back. I keep missing with the Dave's season will work fine for every other map too. It will not work for maps that don't have salt built into them. So if you don't have salt built into that map, you will have to use their version. That is why we use the mod folder switcher, so you can switch between mod folders on the fly. The PV tools. You won't be able to play my map with my version if they don't have salt built into the map. You would have to make some. So what I need to do is, I wanted one box, one cube, like this. I know that you get different materials to change the materials for each side. I don't have Maya, and I don't know how to do any I can't even edit it. I can do it here, but I'd like to be able to change materials for each side, because other than that, what I will be doing, and if it is that easy, then get me a block that does it. Put the texture on different sides so I could change one texture. Because what I was thinking is, if I can shrink, well, not 8. We'll keep that there. If I don't get some help, I'm gonna have to go like this and put on my blocks together like so, and then make this block the inner texture of, well, let's see. We'll go into, I'll create a texture library, but let me just go into one of the maps right now and see if I can find a texture. We'll call, I know that there's lots of textures. I'm gonna search for wood. We'll just grab a wood texture. I want a drywall texture, for instance. But if I find a basic, nope, that's my wood chips. I don't want a wood chips texture. All right, let's go look for a metal texture just for the heck of it. I will find. I know I have. I've seen several. Let's see what this looks like. It's a small one. It's a metal. All right, that's a nice metal texture, for instance. So let's copy that over here and paste it into here. Oh, we'll put it in my block textures folder with the rest of them. But I'll get a drywall one, different wood siding ones, different little blocks. And then I can come in here and say I wanted the inside to have a metal piece on the wall. I can have it look like it's metal. And I could do it theoretically, but I'm going to end up with a lot more blockage than I want. And blocks are not... I want to create a texture library so that we can have this same concrete block but with windows added to that texture. Add a windowed texture blocks and stuff. And what you end up with would be, I want to put possibly steel rods going down into it. I want to actually make it so I have a large library of pieces to pull from that makes the building as it appears look more realistic rather than just boom, there's the whole this in there. So when you in a map, any way to just how to add coal or sand to a map for mining as, so how do you add coal or sand to a map for mining? I could tell ya very easily, and that's what I like. Are these factories going to be in the map, or what? These are placeable factories. These are going to be placeables right now. Everything is placeable. We will be building stuff into the map when they fix all the errors of buildable that happen with building stuff into the map. But most of the factories will probably remain placeable so you can customize the maps yourselves. So, yes, you can, and I can show you that as well, how to quickly add product to your map as a mining product. I just need to load up the map here. We'll bring up the industries map this time because I'm going to take a break while it's loading and use the restroom. So we'll load this up in the editor and I'll give you Fummins messaged me. Where is it? Oh, X-Men, Fummins 3, I message you. That's what, okay. Yeah. They are going to be out there. Placeables. So you can put them where you want. I like the flexibility of that. I like it for multiplayer so that as a person buys the property, they can decide what factory type they want. I mean, I just think it makes sense. If you build it in, I'm restricting you guys to what I've decided to do. Now, certain things do have its advantages being built into the map, but I prefer to let you build the map. Now, yeah, the landscaping tools can be a little bit tricky as I've figured out, but it takes a little work smoothing out and getting stuff. Who knows? The cool thing is that these the way that these are being built by placeables is I can include them in the map later on. If I want to make a version of this map, I can have the map load them up automatically. Uh, but also as placeables outside the map, it doesn't increase the map file size. And eventually with all the stuff we have, you wouldn't be able to get your map on servers with it being that. And there's so many advantages to having placeables. But there are a few things that I would like to build into the maps with this. Once the errors are out of it, I would like to take especially on this map here, let me run my script, my 16x script, so we can scroll around and see everything. I would like to take different parts like the water planes over here and have them automatically go down this water plane, drain, whoop, and then when it rains, fill back up, and then slowly disappear again, and then when it rains, fill back up, and allow the water triggers to do the same thing. I mean, that can be done very easily when we build that into the map. Same way with ponds and stuff, make water accessible when it rains and just do more dynamic stuff inside the maps. There's another pond. So you wanted to know how to add product to a map relatively easy. And I didn't know this. First thing is, go into the map. Somehow you want to get the product. And what I usually do is I will put in the game, I will take a vehicle and I will edit in the XML file for a save game, which is very easy to find. Documents, my games, Farming Simulator 2019. I would go into like my save game one, vehicles XML file, and I would find a tipper on a new save game. I'm sure I have one in here, but I don't know which one it is. What is this? This is my AGCO Ideal. You find one of your trucks that you know what it is. Not my train wagons. I know I have vehicles in here. If you start a new save game, it will be much easier for you to find. But there's my man truck, for instance. Then I would come down here, and right now it has 30,000 fertilizer in my man truck. I would put in coal, all caps, put whatever amount of coal. I just want to get some coal on the ground. Save that file. And once I save that file from that save game, I would copy my terrain detail height density file right here back into from that save game. And thank you there, Seems Good 100, for the bits. I would take the terrain density, copy it into my map and overwriting. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to mess things up, but I would, for instance, come in here, maps, and you'll find it in your with all these other, the same file, terrain overwrite that one. It will give you that pile wherever you put it on the ground in the mine. and it will show up as just a tiny little speck where whatever size you dumped it, it'll look like this when you open up your editor. Then, from there, you click on your terrain info layer paint mode. You come down to here, and no, you want to go to your text. Nope, I went too far. You want to go to your terrain detail height setting in your foliage layer, and take whatever that, wherever that little pile is. If I dumped it over here, it'd be fine. But let's say this was my little pile. Left control R, is it? I forget now. I just did something. Left control.
I'm out of here, Dave, but check your message.
All right. What did I just do? I just did something. I deleted everything. Undo. I turned everything white. Oh, I'm in the wrong mode. I'm sorry. That's why. I meant to do the foliage layer. Yes, foliage layer. Control R, and it will set the bits for the type of material you're on. I just changed the whole landscape to one farmland is what I did right there. Yeah, you don't want to do that. That's why I'm not going to save this map when I'm done. But highlight over part of the pile. Now, on with your foliage layer, terrain detail height. Now you'll see if I click down lower, it releases some of the bit settings. The ones that are actually for the height are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So if I just put on 5 and I click add, that's 5. If I add 6 to it, it gets higher. 7, 8, 9, and all of them selected will be really high, like I have there. If you had different ones, you can get the different levels in between as well by unchecking. So you can get finer increments, but that's pretty much. So you could see that the bit setting for the coal, whatever the gravel here I got would be 134. If I come up over here, the ore bit setting is 0, 1, 3, 4. 5 through 10 are my height. I can click on this one, left control R, and this one's 3, 4, which is my salt. Over here is sand. That one is 0, 3, 4. And then the coal. So yeah, they all have different bit settings, but that's the easiest way to grab them, which was thanks to, I think it was JD Fan that did that. I haven't tried the updated blank map yet. Maybe that will fix it. What are we looking at? Oh, Fummins joined Discord. Hey, Fummins, you in there?
He's not in chat yet, not in voice, but he's in chat, so you can get a hold of him now.
All right. I don't even have... You know what? I'm afraid because the last time the stream crashed was when I switched over to Discord to take a look.
Don't do it.
I just did it. Thank you. Hey, he's in there. Good to have you there, Fummins. All right, so I hope that helps you with your selecting ground textures. But it's easy when you put something in the map to start it. Otherwise, you got to hunt and draw little piles and try to find what your ground textures are. Let me get out of here before I save this. And we'll take a look when I come back at what we had, and we're gonna... So yeah, I'm looking at blocks. I got somewhere out there, Fummins is out there in the Discord, and maybe he can help me with an 8-sided block with different textures. Because otherwise I'm gonna have to keep making new blocks and creating a... But the point is to And you guys have seen it. The warehouse on the Industries map was made out of this same block with different textures. And one of the things that you're using right now, we'll load it up. I have to unzip it because I always... Let's see. FS19. I've got so many mods that were... Here. It wasn't even called. We're going to unzip this one real quick. And load this shell fuel up in the editor. Do I have an autoloader product trailer? We have an autoloader with the UAL script in it. I don't know where we got it. X-Man got it. Alright, so the shell building. Oddly enough, when I put this shell building together, it is made of that same block, but that block has a nice stucco texture, and it flows seamless texture. It flows nicely, and then I just took buildings and stuck them in the side of it to give it a little bit of, yeah. So there are ways, but I would have much rather grabbed like a window section rather than sticking the whole buildings, and then used this little block, fill in that block with one that has windows on it by just moving a block down. But they stack nicely, and we can create different building shapes and things and different textures, and start with it building the ground up. So we could have it, and I would love to have them because I can make doorways and put doors and make it so that we can drive inside and actually see an interior versus an exterior. And I just want to make them more useful, so I'm going to start building a buildable materials library. We'll have different wood textures for sidings and stuff for the outside, and then we can just, as it's building, we can have layers of the blocks appear starting at the base, going up, and then we can add in the silos and other objects as they are building as well. But it would just make for a better building process. The shell would have been actually a pretty good one to build because of the different pieces. Building objects is not going to be too difficult. I'm going to open up, and this is going to take a few minutes. So this is when I'm going to use the restaurant. Yeah, I'm going to use the restaurant. The iconic trailer pack is auto-loaded. We've got a really good one, Pikey Poke. What I really would like is, what is it? Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I did it. I've got to edit, because I'm making palettes a little bit different sizes and stuff, so I'm going to edit the best trailer I can find, which I really like the trailer we have, but I want to make it so that it has settings for our different size palettes as I'm making them too. But there was a little car that had, from last year, that had a that would have been great for working in the orchards, picking up the small boxes. You remember that one? I don't know where it is. I can't find it here. Other thing I don't have right now is a concrete mixer, and we're going to be doing the concrete factory pretty soon. So we'll be hauling it with pallets, which can be done. I'm going to load up while I take a quick break the 17 map for industries that I had left off with in my 7.1.0 editor, and also carries bales and cotton bales. Yeah, we're gonna fix things up, but I will be back. Oh my gosh, I'm already tired, but I'll be back in just a few minutes. Hang in there, and we're gonna see what we can figure out about a glue factory coming up. in just a couple minutes. All right, I am back, and you're staring at a blank map because I haven't run the 16x script yet, which takes a little longer. The editors are so different. 7.1 versus 8 point or 7 point whatever it was. Takes so much longer to move around the old editor than the new one, which has helped me get the factories done a little bit quicker. Also, when you're not working on the full map, it's a lot easier when you're working on just a single object. And I am going to try to switch over. Okay, there we go. Now I can actually see what I'm streaming. Alright, so we're in the last year's version that I never completed. But we never... Certain factories, like this one right here, I had it broken down so at 25% when you're building it, I had different percentages, and in each group it would build the factory piece by piece. But the problem is with like the, and this is the vodka factory, is that that is all one piece. So I had to load all of the factory like at the end. I want to be able to do much smaller building. Do you need all the mods in Trello? No, you don't need them all. Only the ones you want to use. You will need my version of seasons if you're running seasons. You'll need a map, obviously, and the placeables. You can pick and choose which ones you want, but those are the ones that will work with my map. Down here in the corner of this old map, or not in the corner, but over here somewhere, we're going to be doing the sell points later as well. Alright, those are some of the buildable factories that we had. The glue factory is over here, which was pretty much a shed. It was never buildable. I would like to make it buildable and make it more than just a shed with a couple open doors that you drive in. So we can take some texture swatches, and I want to try to get more of the animation and make it look like it's actually doing something on each of the factories. So as we rebuild them, I don't really want to copy this one out and put it in. I could very easily make it a glue factory by grabbing everything that's in this user glue transform group, all the pieces, all the fences there and everything, and output it and I'd have to redo. See, we even used the large pallets back then. I was using the big pallets, so I have to bring in the smaller pallets that we're using right now. Later on, when all the factories are done, which we have dozens of them to do, I may make a place that you can put down by the shipping yards that can create the larger pallets, but we got to do trucks that can carry them and everything. Bring back some of the large pallets. So I try to keep everything that I did work on, so all that work that went into these things doesn't go to waste later on. Yes, when you put products into farmers market, it pays you over time at once per hour per product. You will sell 500 of that product. So in testing, if you have all the products in the farmers market, you'll make about $20,000 per hour, $20,000 per hour. And if you fill it all the way up with 30,000 product in each one, that would last a whole 60 hours of that money coming in game. We're going to have other sell points coming. X-Man and I have been going back and forth on the sell points with and the thing is, he would like to get some right now to sell some stuff off. We're going to be adding stuff into the ports on the next map update as well, but we're going to be adding so many products and so many factories that we're going to need to, if I put in sell points now, I'm just going to have to keep editing them as the new products come in. So I really need to get a product line down. You got confused why you didn't get money. I really need to get a product line down and fixed for what products are going to be in the map before I start adding the sell points, and do a map update with as many products as possible. We have one of the things, I mean, there are a lot of questions as far as where I'm going to go from here, because a lot of these factories that we did use are really perfect for the large map, but if we used this size factory on every map that we're building for the 4x2, so we're going to try to scale them down and rebuild them all from scratch. They're going to probably add some new products in because we have more product lines available now. So there's going to be a lot of thinking for the and a lot of designing for the next week probably. I'm going to work on, you can see there's a lot of the blocks right here that I used around the edges of this. We've got a lot to do, and I'm going to start them probably from scratch and build a library. I want the factories to all look different, but I want them to be more modular and show up better when you're building them rather than just appear. So I'm also gonna create an effects library with the smoke and the spray, water spray. I mean, wouldn't it be cool to have the vegetable factories, when you drop them off, maybe see the vegetables go down the conveyor and go under a sprayer that washes them before they go into a slicer that slices them up into the sliced vegetables and that type of thing. How easy is it to turn a building in from a map into a placeable item? It's not that difficult. And you know what? I can actually give you an example because Mr. X-Man really wants a sell point. So maybe I'll throw together a placeable sell point for you guys this evening and give you a little bit of a rundown on how that process will work. Now I'm going to just do a quick one. I want to do much more involved sell points later on, but we're going to create a sell point. We've got so many things. If you remember, the steel factory here was buildable. The concrete factory was buildable. And I'll take a quick look at the concrete, for instance. All the pieces appeared one at a time. We've got some pretty cool pieces, and it's great when they're smaller pieces. But I'm going to save out some of these pieces for future building and just rearrange them and try to make them a little bit smaller and not as, shall we say, I don't know, just not as, yeah, like the walkway. It's one piece. So when we were building this factory, the output these are all in the visibility node section, which will be able to do the same thing. Literally, I could take this whole factory, the Piev's concrete, and make it buildable in the same way as it is now in the new version, relatively easy. But it's awful big for the smaller maps. So we're going to scale things down, probably remove some silos, but we'll find pieces that work throughout all the different mods. A sell point just for X-Man. So we'll do that. We'll export. We're going to export McDonald's, and I will make it into a sell point. He's still out there. I thought you went to bed, X-Man. He's still watching. He's just got to be quiet, probably. So let's do that. We'll show you the process for making a placeable mod, and I'm pretty sure that somewhere on this map, up north I think it was, we have a McDonald's. We'll do the McDonald's. And the reason why I'm doing McDonald's, it's awful small, number one, but is because I really would love it for the bigger ones to actually later on, as you're dropping off the products, show stuff on the shelves, you know? So we can do that too. We're going to take some time. But McDonald's, pretty simple model. Here it is. We might scale it up a little because it looks kind of tiny compared to a lot of the other stuff. Could I borrow it? We could get this out for you guys. The question is, what are we going to sell at McDonald's? See, we're going to have to update it several times throughout the building process because we don't even have the meats built into the map, so our burgers can't go there. So here's my McDonald's folder. I clicked on it. This editor is a lot slower. Bear with it. It drives me nuts being back in this editor because things take forever. as I highlight different pieces. But we'll be out of this editor very soon once I export this sucker. Fummin03 has a link for me. Oh, goody. I'm going to click that link just in case. If it's my block that he already made for me. Oh, he's got my cube. I saved that to my desktop. I'm going to take a look at that too in a minute. It's already on my desktop. We'll unzip that. Thank you there, Fubbins. Take a look at that. It's a cube, but it has 6 different sides that have different textures. That's why I came on live, just for that. I think that will do it. Let me take a look at that for you in a minute. We'll do 2 things at once here. We're still selecting McDonald's. This old editor is slow. It says it's not responding, and it isn't, but it is. Six different sides that have different textures. That's what I was looking for. Because I can create a nice block, building blocks, and add different textures. And yeah, now I might have just messed up. Is it really taking that long to load my McDonald's here? There. Highlight my whole McDonald's. Trying to move around in the editor just to make sure everything's highlighted, but it is slow in the 7.1 editor. There. All right, now I can do it. I can move around. So there's the McDonald's. We're going to go out into my desktop. I'm going to create a new folder. New folder. Going to name it fs19 underscore mcdonalds. There, that works. Alright, so I have my folder. Come back in here. File. Export my selection with files. And I'm going into my desktop. fs19 McDonald's, and we're just gonna name it McDonalds. McDonald's. Get my parent directory structure, and this is from last year. Click yes. That's the only option you get. Gonna close down my map. Get out of there. It takes a little while as we're closing down. Okay. I had something else open. My old block. Real quick, before we jump back into there, we're going to jump over to Mr. Cube here. Now he has 6 different sides, 6 different textures. He didn't give me the textures, but that's okay. We can use my own textures, hopefully. We'll move that cube into my other folder, which I should have done first. Alright. He had, let's see, I'm going to move that cube into my library. And we'll put it right here. Open it up in 8.1, not the old editor. And yeah, the stuff for greenhouses. You're enjoying being nosy? I'm glad you're enjoying it. Alright, so he created this cube with 6 different sides. So technically, I got side 3. Alright, side 1. He's got them labeled differently. I can come in here, and the red side, I should be able to come in, and we're in the McDonald's thing. Let's go to my library. And library, block textures. What side was red? Well, probably the bottom. Nope, there's one side. So yeah, now I can actually come in and load in the different sides, which is pretty good. If I wanted to make building blocks, here we'll add some light so you can see it a little better. And I can put on the inside of the building, let's see, side 6, I can load up a metal. That's the yellow side, which is the other side. Yeah. Let me drag my light point. I'm trying to get the light fixture where I can actually see the side. But yeah, that'll work good. I can create some better building blocks with indoor and outdoor texture. There's that side. We'll add the metal to that side too. I'm going to create some texture swatches and I'll be able to put interior. We're going to create, I'll probably size up the block to a different size and then make some graphics that have windows on them. Make some, yeah. So we can now put our different colors on the different sides and make it a stackable, a little bit bigger, but we'll make it a stackable cube. Yeah, that'll work great. So that's what I'm going to be working on is building blocks. I have lots of textures. I just have to find them by searching through. So thank you there for that, Foliage. That'll work great. I'm making a Rubik's Cube, yes, but wait till you see it when it's done. So we exported to the McDonald's folder. Next step is to open the folder where you exported and open your i3D with Notepad. Anything, and this is the problem exporting with 7.1 into 8.0. If we look, we could probably find our textures, Goldcrest Valley, all the ones that are in there are right here. They're all linked. So if you want to do a nice clean job, this is what I do. I have my textures folder. I'm getting rid of additional folders here. I'm going to cut these right out and move them back into the textures base here. Just to clean up, we're going to keep all my textures on this mod in one place. We can now get rid of that. And now it's just going to be in textures. I'm going to change all these lines here by removing this. And this also, if you get duplicate textures, they'll all be in the same place. But the problem you notice is there are a lot of textures in here that didn't export. Anything with the dot dot dash means it's going back to the map itself and it's not in my new folder. So we're going to have to browse for this. And I just had to turn my headset back on. So back to my map that I was in. We're going to go to, where is it? It's hiding over here. Industries and models. You can see that I'm following the path. Bread factory. Map object library. Textures. Warning lines diffuse. Copy. Put it over here. Paste that one in there. remove all of this because now it's just in my textures, warning line diffuse. I got that one. Now we got to go back to models, and now you'll see that all the rest of them are in the cell points. Well, but they're off in different ways. So we got to go back and search for them. So models, cell points, McDonald's, data, flour mill, models, C models, one new. There's my concrete texture. We're going to put that one in my texture folder. And again, just change all of this to textures. And this is why I told X-Man, this is, if you export it, I'll create it into a cell point. He said, the cell point part is going to be easy. It's the exporting that's a pain in the butt. Well, if I get that far, I only got 5 minutes left to go. So models, cell points, McDonald's, models, objects, viables, Donald's, and then we've got all of these here. I'm going to just grab them all, bring them over into my textures folder. And with this, I am going to go... Oh wait, that's I didn't get that line yet. This one here, models, viables, Donald's, search, replace with textures slash replace all. So anything there is now replaced. It's got all those. So we only got one more. The models, cell points, McDonald's, models, buildings, Hojemogeberg, whatever it is, texturing, add strip, copy. Put that in my folder and with my textures as well. Once you have all that done, we just change that path so it points to textures. Save your i3D file. All your files should now, all my files, you'll know right away if you get an error and it can't find an image. So we don't need to save that in it. Alright. Now if we come back up and we load up my McDonald's in 8.1, we have nothing yet. It's loading. I don't have an issue going from 8. You can get issues. You want to check your links anyway when you go from 8.1 to 8.1. So you notice it was on my map in a very, very far away location. Okay? My XYZ values, set them on the main group back to 0. It'll bring it right to the center. We also had a point on that one that was for filling with the train. We're going to get rid of that. If I look down in my log, you'll see if it couldn't load anything, but it was okay. It loaded everything. Next thing I do is I'll create a plane. I like to create a plane outside of my actual group just so I could see my ground level, and you could see that everything is sitting on the ground. When it's at 0, it should be that way. If it wasn't sitting on the ground, you would have to lower the pieces inside. You want this group to be at 0 still. It also has rotation set. We can reset the rotation back to 0 on everything. So McDonald's is on the ground. The McDonald's seemed a little bit small to me. You can try to scale it up if you want. And I think I'm going to for this example. I scaled it up to 2 by 2 by 2. We're going to take a look at it in game later. I might want to scale it down. Let's go and find my cell marker. We'll bring that in a little bit. I think it might be float. Nope, it looked like it was floating. Highlight. We'll bring the trigger in for the grain station trigger. We're going to have to replace the triggers. We only have the grain station and the object input, which are now our palette trigger and our other stuff. So we have the basics for a cell point. I'm going to save this right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal. I like to steal things because it helps refresh my memory. So I'm going to steal, and you guys already have this. It's out there. Let me get rid of that folder so I don't cause. We have a placeable cell point for trash that I made last week. So this is going to help you get the files you need. Let's extract the trash cell point. And we're going to just overwrite some files from this. We need our mod description. We need our XML file. We'll grab the store file. Those are the three. The icon. We'll change the icon to McDonald's later. The rest of them we don't need. Just grab those three. Let's take a look at the mod description XML file. Starting from the top, FS19. We'll call it McDonald's cell point. As our title, a placeable MCDONALD McDonald's cell point. It's linked to the store DDS, and we need to give it the XML, and we'll call it MCDONALD McDonald's XML function cell point. We're just gonna call it a cell point function. That works. And then you can put in, yeah, I'm just making it simple, all the descriptions, function cell point. And we are not going to put that in as a global company placeable, but what I'm going to do is brand. I think I can get away with this. Boop. Because it's in my map, I'm going to switch it to DAGNet. And I forgot I deleted too much off of this. We need that on there. So the biggest thing is we got to remember that my XML file has to change to McDonald's XML when I load it up. So the name of this is now McDonald's XML. Now let's take a look at our McDonald's XML file. This is where the functions go. Name MCDONALDS McDonald's. We're going to give it a price. We'll give it a price of like $75,000 for them. Can be sold. Show in store. Yes. Rotation 0. Brand DAGNet. Placeable. Placeable. Yes, it's a placeable. Blah, 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 blah. Category is going to be placeable miscellaneous. So it'll go in the miscellaneous category on our placeables. Placeable type is going to say selling station. File I3D is now McDonald's, all lowercase. MCDONALDS. Size. This is where it gets fun. Let's go back to my i3D file. Let's take my McDonald's. I'm going to center it up a little bit here. I'm going to take my plane and I'm going to scale it to what about fits where I like it, and center it up my McDonald's on my plane. That looks like it's pretty good. So, if you look at my plane, you'll notice my size is X80, Z100. So we're going to change my X values to 80. Now that's pretty big. We might want to shrink it down later. Z100, X80, Z100, random rotation false, and use manual rotation true. Then you're going to set up your clear areas nodes. So inside here, create a transform group. We're going to cut that out. I'm going to put it right into my model. And I'm going to name it CLEAR-AREAS. It really doesn't matter, but it helps it later on when you want to find it. And then I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste inside that group 1, 2, 3 of them. And we're going to call them start, width, and the height. Okay. Grab your start point. Come over to the corner of your little platform and left control B, click your thing. Translation should be 0 or you're floating on top of an object, okay? And I did that wrong. I copied something and yeah, I do that all the time. Let's get rid of that out of there. So my start point is there. When I go to my width, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this coordinates by Shift Control C. It's going to grab all the translations, and I'm going to put that on my width as well by Shift Control V back in. Then we're going to scale out the width so it's perfectly straight from the start point to there. And then we're going to come over and do the height the same way. Shift Control V, paste that in. And we're going to drag that all the way to the back right there. So you basically have your start point, and from there you're going to go out in one direction to get your width, out in the other direction to get your height. Now we have our clear areas set at node 9, and we have them at 9.0, 9.1, and 9.2. So when we come back over here, all we got to do is change these 3s to 9, 9, and 9. And we're going to use those same nodes for leveling. 9, 9, and 9. And we're going to use it same nodes for the seasons mask, so it masks the whole process out. That whole area won't get snow when it's seasons. So those 3 are already set in the trash thing. The leveling already has smooth distances. You can mess with those if you want. They seem to work out pretty good. You're going to change your ground type. So you get to change your ground type to an available ground type. I don't want it to be trash in this one, but we can add it as ASPHALT. And if the map includes asphalt, you'll get asphalt. If it doesn't, you'll get dirt. All right. So with that, the next thing is setting up your station name. We're going to call it McDonald's. Appears on PDA, true. Storage rate, we leave that. Liters for full price drop. Let's call it 500,000, and then the price will drop to its lowest. Full price recovers after 48 hours. That sounds good. We need an unload trigger. And we need to put in the fill types. So, I'm going to save this. I'm going to go out. I'm going to save this too while I got that set up. Just save early, save often. Let's go into our trash cell point and load it up. It's pretty simple. Doesn't have much going on in there. Oh, and I didn't even load up the right file. I loaded up the garbage can. The garbage that goes in it. So give me a minute. Loving everything. Good to hear. Hey everyone, Bud Monster, how you doing? We'll take a quick look over at the chat there. Alright, I didn't want to load that up. I want to load up the trash cell point. And the reason why is because you want to get your triggers right. And I still have a problem with my triggers. It's a memory issue in my head. I got it. I know there's a 24 for one of them and a 30 for the other. And one of them has collision on it, one doesn't. You probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But let's take a look over here. So, unloading triggers. We have an exact fill root node. That one there is our main unloading point, cell point. Regular trigger takes your tippers and everything. So the settings on that are what I'm looking at. It's set at collision with a mask of 30. Okay. So if I come back over to my McDonald's, you know I have a trigger right here. It used to be called the grain station trigger. And if we look at it, that one is my tip trigger. That one is... Alright, yeah, so we got some work to do. I'm going to delete the start and end. We don't need those anymore. We're going to rename this to my exact fill root node, just so I know what I'm doing. We could import the trigger from the other one very easily and be done. Place it because it has all the right settings. And this one we're going to call our palette trigger. We'll call it... Okay. So for the exact fill root node, back to my other one, we want to make sure it's a static object with collision and mask on 30. And you'll notice the position, it's right into the ground. So collision, take off the trigger, mask that to 30, click OK. We're going to rescale this down to the size we want it, which height wise we only need it just above the ground because it's going to just stick above the ground a little bit. Alright, X was fine at 1, Z 1.5. We'll fill out the box pretty good. Maybe a little bit bigger. So that is our exact fill root node. Right there. The palette trigger. That one does go up above the ground. And we're going to scale that up to 1.2. Well, 1 in that direction was fine. 1.25. We'll go to 1.5. Just going to find a happy... We'll bring that to 1.6. Settings on our palette trigger are not the same. That one, if we come over to our other one and take a look, and you always have this one over there. I never even changed it from the Niam Bale trigger, but it has collision and trigger set and a collision mask of 24. It's also a static object. So over here, we're going to collision and trigger are set. And if we come over here, the value is already set to 24. So it has the same settings. It's in the same spot. We have a visit point. We have everything else is in there that is in our XML for a regular cell point. I'm going to save this. We shouldn't need that anymore. Over to our XML. We do need it. We want to get the indexes for the triggers. I forgot about that part. So over here, actually, our exact fill root node is at 700. And our barrel trigger node, which is actually the palette trigger node, which it doesn't really matter what the name is as long as it knows where it is. We're going to change that to 710. To match. And now we get to add our fill types. So what does McDonald's want to buy? I'm going to throw in some of the items. So I'm going to copy that line. It's not going to buy trash, but we're going to make it. And also, all right, so we were discussing this. Let's say McDonald's like Apple. And we're going to set the price scale so it sells a little bit less because you get it right away than the farmer's market. What other fruits do we have? We can sell. I'm trying to think of what to add into the sell point. Apples, pears, plums, cherries, peaches. What else does McDonald's? I'm going to later on fix this, but let's just go. We can put cherries in there. Now, another thing I always have an issue with, let's go over to our field types. And we'll just take a look through. We've got our whole list here. We don't have several, but these are included in the map already. So let's start at the bottom. We're going to look up the list. You might not have them yet, but the cell point won't throw errors if we put certain things in, like, let's see. We can put sugar in there. Also, you can delete these. They're from the old. You don't need all these settings on these, just so you know. It'll take some lines out of your XML file. So we will put sugar into our thing here. And when we have sugar, it will take it. I'm going to go back up through. Oops, that's right. I got to switch over to my fill types. We can put our wheat bread, oat bread, rye bread in just for now. Why not? We'll put those in here. Wheat bread. Make sure we get all three. Oat bread. We'll get our breads into McDonald's. We'll change our price scales on all these to 0.90. So it's a little less than the other one. Supports great demand. Disable price drop is okay. Looking through my fill types in the map. See what else we got. We've got mushrooms we can add in. Yep. Cucumber. Yeah, we'll throw mushroom and cucumber in there. I keep doing that because I keep forgetting I gotta come over here. So we'll throw our mushroom in there. We'll throw our cucumber in there. Keep looking up through. I guess we can add our raspberry, strawberry, tomato definitely, and our cabbage and lettuce. Raspberry, strawberry, tomato, cabbage, lettuce. Raspberry. Strawberry. And these are subject to change as we get more places. Tomato, red cabbage, lettuce. Lettuce. Fill types over here. Going up. Eventually we'll have meat, but we don't yet. Cauliflower, yeah, we'll throw the cauliflower. Maybe peach. Banana. Sure, we'll put banana in there. Cauliflower, peach, banana. What the heck? I know that some of these things you won't find at McDonald's. Cauliflower, peach, banana. But I'm kind of give you a sell point with stuff for now. It's not going to have all of them. Peach. Banana. I like to keep things neat looking when I can. So we'll line them back up. We got to do some price scale changes or you're not going to get any money for these items. Okay. Potatoes. Yes, good idea. Potato. Good one. Thank you for reminding me that we can get potato in there. We can also put carrot and onion in there. So we got a few more. Get some of those in there. Potato, carrot, onion. Just gonna check. Do they put olives? I don't think they have olives at there. Cherry, we can put cherry for the ice cream. So we'll put cherry. Orange, yes they do orange. Apple. Yes they do the apple slices. Do we have cherry, orange, apple? Let's find out. Apple's in there, so we'll get orange and cherry in there as well. Orange. Cherry. Okay. I think that's pretty good. We've probably got... Yes, you asking how to do this is giving X-Man his sell point. We can actually add, if we wanted to, salt in there if we wanted to. Mustard. Yes, we could add mustard, but we're going to actually later on we're going to create stuff with mustard, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. Rice. Well, we're going to add products. I'm going to just leave it at that for now. We've got other sell points. So we have our sell points, selling station, placeable, blah, blah, blah. Good. Our mod description is saved. Our sell point is saved. Next, I'm going to take away my... Now, does this process work if you built a model and just got to add coding? Pretty much if you build a model and bring it into this editor, then you just need to do that XML changes. Now I'm going to come in here. What I like to do is I like to get a good view of my model that I just created. I'm going to do a print screen. I'm going to come out and I'm going to open up paint.net. And I'm going to edit paste into new image. I'm going to grab my tool for cutting out this nice lovely image. I'm gonna grab, it's obviously, it's got to be square, but we're gonna just image crop to selection, and then we're gonna resize it so it's 512 by 512. I know the aspect ratio gets a little twisted, but it's as good as we're gonna get. Then I like to take the little magic wand here, and you can move your slider so you make sure you're not cutting out any pieces of your object. Like right there looks good, and then we're gonna hit delete. File, save as. Then we're gonna go over to my desktop, FS19. You can put in a background color for this if you want, but we're going to take the store item and we're going to replace it. And with a clear background, we want to make sure it's DXT5. If you make it solid, then you can set it as DXT1. But the clear works pretty good in game. So now that I've got that, I can add this to archive and zip it up. And we're going to get a zip file right here. We're going to copy that into my map class folder and see what errors we got, because sometimes we get them. So we should have an FS19 McDonald's when we load up the game now, and it wasn't too difficult. View topic, blah 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 blah. What do you got me over there? He's sending me links. I'm gonna click on it and see what it pops up while we're loading up the game here. Oh, creating store icons for mods. Yeah, what do we got? Make sure you got an app up there. Oh, there's a new tool for creating icons for mods. Ah, thank you there, Ozzy1980, for the follow. I just created a store icon. I think it works pretty good. Let's open up save game number 6. What the heck? We'll start a new one just so I know what we're doing here. But we will take off. Now, if we come in here, FGHI, somewhere in here we have McDonald's. Hopefully. There's just so many logos. I can't find it. I need to turn off seasons. Where is that seasons? Yeah, I know it's in there because seasons was over here till I did. But it's probably up here somewhere. There it is. My FS19 McDonald's. Alright, let's start up. Ozzy 1980. That's the Giants way? I'll have to read it. I'll read what Giants Way says and see what's different. But, this works. Oh, they have an actual... Make sure you got an up-to-date installation in the mod you want. Oh my gosh, this sounds so so complicated. That's all right. I'm doing good. So, I got to do all those steps to create an icon. All right. We need a piece of property to do my test. So we'll jump in here and we'll buy my city once again, just because I like to test down here. If we come in here, technically under my DAGnet, because I added it, we have a McDonald's sell point right here. Plop. And we can go take a look at her. See, I scaled it up a little bit. It's actually twice the size it was just about. But, okay, maybe are they trash cans? Maybe they're a little bit big. We can scale stuff down if we want. No, they're just, they're not trash cans. But we have a drive-through. We have a sell point trigger. My lines are just off. You want to check things like that. You see, this line looks really good. It's pretty close to the ground. That one parking line section is floating just a little bit compared to all the others that are touching the ground. So I will fix that. Everything else back here looks pretty good. There's my box for my sell point. So I guess what we should see when we pop up our menu is a McDonald's right here. And if we visit it, we're inside it. So we want to... Oh, do we not have collision? We want to set the collision on our McDonald's. That's not done. See, you got to check these things out. And find out where we're going to put our visit point. Because our visit is set into the center of McDonald's, which is not a good place to be. Alright, so we got a few more things to fix, but also we can jump in here and you should see, nope, it's not appearing on my list as a sell point, which it should have. Oh yeah, it is. It's right there, McDonald's. It's right there. And all the products that McDonald's takes will appear in the McDonald's line. So it now takes onions, and it now takes apples, and oranges are selling for a really nice price. Cherries are too right now at 1,547. Okay, bananas are 1,660. Peaches, cauliflower, yeah, you can see all the prices of all the products that can be sold at McDonald's. So there's a few things to work out, but for the most part, we created a sell point. We just got to go and tweak a couple things. Actually, we can actually save here so we can come back in and have the McDonald's there when we're done. Although I'll forget what save game number. I think we used 8 this time. And exit back out. So things that I noticed. So I'm going to go back and create a plane again, because I deleted it out of there. And I'm going to scale it because we have one floating object, as you remember, one of the lines. And this will help me place it a lot better. So I'm pretty sure it was this segment right here that was floating. This park place right there, the whole thing. Maybe not. It's just above ground on that. Was that the one? It could be. And they designed this originally with all these separate sections. So some of them Yeah, it was just, I'm gonna have to go through and grab each section, just make it disappear and come back above ground like that so it's visible. Zoom in and out a little bit, make sure that you're okay with it not flickering in and out. See, that's weird. It's a line underneath there. So this one is attached to the group above it, which is kind of crazy, but we'll lower the whole thing at once. Make sure our lines are near the ground. The curved piece is one big sticker. I think that will be better. The other issue we had was our building here. We could walk right through it. So all of these pieces don't have any collision set to them. As you can see, they don't have a collision, so we're going to just click rigid body on to my walls so we can't walk through. And if you want, with square buildings, you can also create just a block around it if you wanted to. But as we come around, the four walls, my roof, anything we're going to bump into, make sure we get some rigid body onto it. My McDonald's sign is on a, not necessarily need the rigid body way up in the air, but we don't want to be clipping through our poles. So I'm going to turn it on those. Those already have rigid bodies set, my little cans on the corners. That one does not. So the wall behind these has it, so we don't need to have it on the pieces that are around there. Now the visit point, now that's an interesting thing because we did have a visit point in here, I thought, that we copied in, but I never, and this is where I'm still learning, this is all placeables. Didn't we have a visit point marked? And where did it go? So create a transform group. And I thought there was one marked somewhere. I'm just checking. It was probably in the UF here. Alright, there was one in there. But that's what we're gonna do. I got a link to, I'm gonna remove this one. Rename this my visit point. And I gotta figure out how visit points are linked to in XML. So I'm gonna put that right up front and look at something that I know has a visit point that works, which is in my map. Not that one. Under my selling stations. Let's see. I know all of them work, so... Oh, cancel that. We just want to look at the XML. I want to see how the visit point, if it's linked in here somewhere. And as usual, it isn't labeled in that one. But it is, let's open up the i3D on there. I'm going to try something bigger. Let me see. Good night, Iron Eye 73. So yeah, my selling station bales. Let's open it up real quick. It's just gonna be the little bale thing. I'm wondering because there's nothing in the XML that picks up the visit point that I can see, but it does have one. So it's probably the center node. Can you check the visit points on the ports and industries? I already, oh, on industries? I believe I did that. So it is pretty much bringing me to the base node of the thing as the visit point. And that's the problem. I need to find a way to create a visit point separate from the base node of the thing. And it's probably something I can add into the XML. None of them have a visit point. In listed, so they're all bringing you to the base node of the group, which is right there is where I'm spawning in. And in order to, unfortunately, what I can do is I can do this. I can try this. Let's try this. I'm going to group that together. And then I'm going to take my visit point, my group. Yeah, I know I'm crazy. But what I'm trying to do is get my visit point outside of my, well, my base node outside of my group. I don't know how else. There's probably an XML line that you can do to get it there. But now you can see my base point is probably where I'm going to spawn. So I can move my whole group. Hey, AAWXXDCXX. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. I'm pretty sure that's the point. The base node of the whole group, which is kind of silly that but I'll have to see if there's another way. I don't actually need this in there then. And I did group everything together. The only problem with that is my nodes all change when I do it that way. So, but, which is a pain in the butt. So my clear areas is in further. It's actually at 0, 13, 0, 0, 13, 1, and 0, 13, 2. So everything, doing it that way, my level area is, all those things are going to be at 0, 13 now, because I had to put them in a different group. But it should work when we get it done. Here, let me copy this part. And a sub for Double R Gaming. Thank you so much, Double R. So I'm going to put that right here. Oops, I deleted too much. 013 for all these nodes instead of 09 because I grouped them all together. Hopefully I got it right. So yeah, because I had to do that, there's got to be an easier way, like in here. There's probably a thing that says visit point equals, and then you set the node. Jen, we just got to check our nodes for Exact fill root node is now 0.8 and our palette trigger is 0.11. So it added a little bit. Interesting. They actually put them outside the group that it was in. So 0.8 and 0.11. We'll see what happens. That's what happens when you group things. They get all messed up. I think that's all the nodes we had set. Right? My clear areas still are in a group. Yep, 0.13, 0.13.1, 0.13.2. My exact fill, my palette trigger. I think we're good. Let's try it out now and see if we got a visit point that's outside the group. That's saved. Back to my McDonald's. Delete the old one. So visit points aren't exactly easy if we can't find a thing to put in. Double R Gaming for 2 months now. Thank you so much. That's what's happening spawning in the building at the Westport. On Industries? Yeah. There are some problems and it's not exactly the easiest thing to move a spawn point, as you can see, without moving all the stuff. McDonald's copied. Paste it in here. Replace. We can get rid of the cell point that we unzipped earlier for demonstration purposes. And let's go in and see if we fixed anything. We shouldn't be able to walk through the building. It stinks when your points are outside the group. But it seems to me I was able to set some visit points separately. How do I make those file thingies on my desktop? You mean all those cool little windows that I'm... Uh-oh. Which save game was I using? I think it might have been 7. We'll find out. If I have my McDonald's checked, then it was this one. It's a program called Fences. No, it wasn't this. Alright, we'll just bring in a new McDonald's. We'll start this game up. The thing, my game files are in. Oh, it was 6. Everybody's putting up 6 now. Well, guess what? We're loading 7 and we'll put a new McDonald's down. That is a program called Fences, Stardock Fences. Actually, if you do exclamation point fences, I believe it's linked to it. Go ahead, throw it up there. Exclamation point fences. I'll do it for you. I think it's still linked. FENCES. Oops. I'm trying to type. No, I might have removed it. No. Oh, there it is. So, if you click that link, I hope they're still in business. They were pretty good. It's not bringing anything up for me. My browsers are probably crashing. I've got too much going on. I think I just ate up all my RAM. Oh, it's loading up on my other... It's trying to load the website up on my other monitor. But it's having difficulties, so let's go back in the game for now. I think yeah. It was pretty cool, and it was only like $10 when I got it, so wait for a sale. Let me see if I can close that web browser down, because whatever I just did, I must be eating right through everything, because I can't move. Nothing's clicking. start my task manager. I need to shut something down. What is eating up all my performance? Let's see. We've got the Giants editor open. I've got a ton of stuff in. Let me end that task. It's having an issue ever since I tried to open up that web page. Alright, I think we're back okay. Why do I have... Are we moving? Or is my error log throwing like crazy on Giants? Look at all this crazy stuff going on. Alright, we're back in the game. Do I own property? Yeah, I own the middle. I think this is the one I had all the wood stuff on. So I don't know if I'll have room down there to place my McDonald's. But we'll find out. Oh, we can place it right up here. We'll place it up here on the farm homestead. Boop! There. We've got a McDonald's right in our field. My lines look a little bit better. Yeah, they're not floating anymore. I can't run through my building because I put the collision on it. That's a nice feature. And we have a spawn point. Let's see what happens with the spawn point. Visit. Yeah, it put it right where I thought, right out in the middle of the front, which is what I had to do. So there is a McDonald's sell point for you guys. I will give you that tonight as a bonus for coming along. Now you'll notice that the letters are off the surface quite a bit. I don't think they have to be that, but you will get flashing if from a distance if they're not off the surface of your object. I think we'll be pretty good because you got all your no errors and you've got all of your prices in the menu for the products we added to McDonald's. And you'll get a pretty good penny for bananas, cherries, and all the things that you have in there. So, kind of cool. Actually, gonna grab my truck here. I'm just checking my scale out. I think it's better than the smaller size it was. And it's still pretty decent size sell point. Parking spot, yeah, they're a little wide, but it'll do. My drive-through. Help you get the big, it's for big rigs. Oh, drive-through window. So yeah, we could, I don't mind this. What the heck is wrong with that drive-through window? It's got issues. It's got cracks. They boarded it up. It's not the best looking model in the world, but I'm not going to spend too much time on it right now. I am going to give you a McDonald's to play with though. So yeah, height-wise, it could probably be scaled back down to a little bit lower height-wise, so it makes it work a little bit. It was so small to begin with. I don't know. It's a tough one. Good enough for when you want to stop off for a burger with your dual-tired tractor. Yeah. I don't know. I think, I mean, I did scale the whole building up because I thought it looked too small. But, now it looks like it's just out of scale a little bit. The building itself isn't bad. It's just the parking lines. I'm not worried about it. I'll give it to you guys. You can play with it. It can be a super McDonald's, right? Let's see. We've got the block. I'm so happy I've got a 6-sided cube that I can edit the sides with. That'll be awesome. Yeah, I'll save changes. We're going to close that down. I just realized I had 3 versions. The old cubes that I was working on, we won't need. I'm going to be working on my cube library. So it's been scaled up. We can make a much smaller. Whoa. I'm hitting the wrong button there. That's what I'm doing. You can delete the plane back out, but how bad was it? What do we scale it to? 0.5 is the group. Oh, we had it up at 2. So technically speaking, if this went to 1, bear with me, folks, and this went back to 1, that is the original size it was designed for. Right there, which is pretty much what we have it at. So I guess it's pretty good, although everything inside here is scaled up to 2 as well, all the way down. How big was it? Oh yeah, that would be, look at how tiny it would be. I'm going to just leave it where it is for now. I'm not worried about it. So we'll give it to you. We'll put it up there as a bonus for tonight's show. And I'll give it to, so where is it? FS19, McDonald's, copy, jump it. Oh, well, we're just going to drag and drop it over here. Loading it up. And now you'll have another thing. You'll know how to create your own cell points. And it's actually almost done. Copy my link. Paste my link right there for you guys. And if you want McDonald's, I'm just checking the link. There you go. Download your McDonald's cell point for the Pleasant Valley map. I guess I gotta put that up for my friend there too. I gotta put it in the Dropbox because he's the one that wanted it. X-Man will be happy. And if he wants to create some of the other ones, he now can do it for me because I just gave him good. Look at all the folders I have open. You wonder why my computer doesn't run. It doesn't run because I've got too much stuff going on. Official files, Dropbox. There we go. Alright, so I hope I helped you guys out a little bit. It is midnight, and it is a work day tomorrow. Next show, Sunday. Not sure where we'll be at, but we're going to be working on buildable placeables, and I'm going to start with the glue factory, but I'm going to start with the library and a lot of thinking, so we'll get you caught up to a lot of thinking about product lines. I'd really like to expand the products, but not get too crazy, but like for the steel company, I'm going to be adding nails, you know, so we can bring nails into the product line. For the concrete company, I think I'm going to, you know what the barriers are, those road barriers, the concrete barriers? I think I'm going to have it output those as well as pallets, and then you could use them in, maybe we'll use them in some building projects, but you could also use them if we make them heavy enough as road barriers while you're playing your game and things like that. So I want to think about adding new products. The glue factory, I'm going to look at 3M products, which they make adhesives, and see if there's anything else that would make sense that we can bring. Yeah, I know it. AAWXXDCXX. Jersey barriers. That's what I call them. A lot of people don't know what Jersey barriers are, but they're those concrete barriers that separate the roads. So yeah, we're going to look at bringing those in. Just DC. All right, we'll call you DC. And we'll be back on Sunday. Can't have a McDonald's without a... Oh, we've got stuff coming. Thanks for the shamrocks. Thanks again, Norm 42 for the donation of $100 for my new hamsters. And Recon Lobster, we're going to get you your factories out there for sure. At this point, like I said, a little bit of a slowdown just so we can make it better in the long run. If I get a really nice set of working materials for building factories done now, it's going to be the process of getting that done, but in the long run we'll have much better, much more involved building processes, and they'll look better as we build them. So it's going to take a little time to get that set up, but I really am looking forward to seeing if we could pull that off. So it really looks like you're building the factory rather than just having things appear. So that's where we're at. And this first one is going to take the longest as we set it up. So we'll catch you up on that whole process on Sunday, and you'll see what we're up to. So everybody have a great night, and we'll catch you all later. See you later, everybody.